So one thing that I've been seeing in the fitness world, because I've been trying to learn more and more about it. I've always been involved with fitness. I always liked it, but I don't think I've I haven't been like obsessed in fitness the way that maybe in finance that I have been. And I've been trying to learn more and more about it. And one of the things that I see is like, I think a little bit different than finance, but kind of similar, is conflicting opinions. Like in finance, you have some people that say invest in real estate, not stocks. Some people say invest in stocks, not real estate. In the fitness world, if we focus on the nutrition side, some people say like fats are good, others fats are bad, others, different things. So like, how now does somebody who's like, I want to be more fit, I want to optimize more nutrition, I want to be sharper thinker, how do I find the good and bad? Because now there's two people, both have strong followings who make strong claims. How do I know what's good?
Yeah. There's a lot of emotional attachment and investment in people's like ways of thinking with nutrition, and it leads to very dogmatic behavior, and it leads to a lot of tribalism. And with food, a lot of times like it starts from the top down, where it's like if someone eats a certain way and they lose a bunch of weight and they change their life because of that, they want to preach it from the mountaintops, and they want to preach it like it's the only way because it worked for them. Mm-hmm. And they have sincere passion when they talk about that because it worked for them. And unfortunately, that passion becomes very contagious. So then you get these people that hear that and they want to try it. And maybe it works for them or not, but with social media, this game of telephone happens so fast. So it's like, okay, well, Sally did keto and lost 100 pounds. So she's like, that's the only thing that worked for me. And that very well could have been the only thing that worked for her. Yeah. Like maybe just other things just didn't click with her for whatever reason. So then you get this crazy tribalism. But with fitness and nutrition, you also have a lot of egos. I'm sure there's egos in finance. Obviously, we see it all the time with, who's got the shinier car, who's got this and that. Yeah. But fitness is a very ego-driven world with a relatively low barrier to entry. So you get people that they get in shape, but they have no experience communicating with people. And they have no scientific rigor whatsoever. And if they get in shape, it's like, I am alpha, I am king, I can talk about whatever I want, and because I look a certain way, it's gonna fly. So there's this vanity aspect that casts a veil over true thought, true research, and true scrutiny over what should be said. And you see that in the communities all the time. So it's like, how do you know what is good and what is not? And the bottom line is that you can do things and take little bits of information from each person. People get attached to one icon on social media because they resonate with them, but you resonate with a two-dimensional version of them, with one thing they said, and then you grasp onto the rest of what they're saying as the gospel. And then you go another direction. And so what I suggest for people is you don't have to follow one person. Be like, I like Thomas for his content surrounding intermittent fasting, but I also like Lane Norton for his content on protein, even though they have conflicting views on other things. Oh, and I like this person for their views on fat metabolism. And you arm yourself with that knowledge and multiple tools in your toolbox, and you apply what works for you. And you have to kind of have the education there to build your own piece. And it's kind of like with you. It's like people might say, oh, I really like what Jaspreet has to say about investing here or in the real estate side. But I really like what, I don't know, Grant Cardone has to say about this. Maybe that's a bad example, but, so a completely different direction. Or, Ramsey says this and that. Okay, maybe you get little bits of nuggets from each piece, but you don't need to subscribe to someone's way of thinking 100%.
I like that. So now, to kind of wrap this up, if somebody is watching this saying, you know what, I've been focused on my financial journey. I want to be better holistically. What would you say are the top 3 things that somebody can do with the least, I don't want to say the least effort, but I guess kind of the lower effort that somebody can do while I'm busy working, I'm busy trying to fix my financial life? What are the 3 most important things that somebody can do on their health side to take care of their health while also working on their financial health?
Okay, I'll start from the top down. Okay, change how the grocery shopping is done. If it's not working right now, change it. I don't care how you change it, but change it. I can give some tips, but if it's currently your wife doing the shopping and it's not working, take the bull by the horns and volunteer to do the grocery shopping for a couple weeks, even if it's not the best use of time, okay? Something needs to change if the food in your house is not the kind of food that you want, because that is what's accessible to you for the most part. So as much as you might like your wife going and doing the grocery shopping, you might need to take that hour once a week and you take control of it. That's just, you have to control that. That's everything. Okay, the next one is one that I've talked about before, and that's having a big breakfast. Having a big breakfast went out the window like 15 years ago because everything was saying, oh, we got to have light breakfasts. Like light breakfast, get on the go, grab your Kellogg's bar and eat your cereal bar on the way out. Okay, so you got 300 calories, pretty much pure sugar, and then what happens? Well, then you eat a big lunch, and then you eat an even bigger dinner, which is completely backwards from what it should be. It should be they say breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper. You should be big, medium, small. And that aligns with your circadian cues, so you sleep better. So studies have demonstrated that when you start having calories allocated to the morning, like breakfast and earlier on in the day, calorie consumption overall ends up being significantly less over the course of the day. And then thirdly, doesn't matter what kind of protein you're getting in, but if you try and make a concerted effort to make protein the primary constituent of what you are eating, again, maybe it's a steak, maybe it's chicken, maybe it's fish, maybe it's tofu, maybe it's going to be a combination of flax and chia and hemp. It does not matter. I want the main portion on your plate to be protein based, okay? And it obviously becomes more difficult if you're vegan or vegetarian. Vegetarian, you can do eggs and things like that, so it works out, but it can get complicated with vegan. But the point with that is that there are studies again that show if you increase protein, calorie consumption ends up being less. 20 to 30% of the calories that are in the protein in the first place are utilized just to burn the food itself. So it's like if you eat 100 calories of protein, you're only actually utilizing 70 to 80% of that, 70 to 80 calories, really? Because 20 to 30 of those calories are involved just in the sheer thermic effect and the metabolism of that protein. So it's like free calorie, that's free food. That's food that doesn't count towards your calories, and it ends up helping your satiety, so you don't want to eat as much throughout the day too.
Very interesting, man. Well, thank you for we don't typically do health stuff. And I kind of like learning about different things. So I really appreciate you kind of giving me this opportunity. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching. And as always, keep hustling.